All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. All right, so if you like really great guitar work and you're kind of a fan of the blues rock genre, this album came out last year and it continues to blow me away. This is Walter Trout. His album is called Ordinary Madness because that's what we're living through. Ordinary Madness. And Walter, been around for a long time. Used to hang out with John Mayall back in the day, and is just a great artist on his own. This is a next level album, I think, for him. He just has really stepped up his game. He's written some really quality music here, and he plays like a house afire. All right, Walter Trout. Speaking of guys who play guitar like a house of fire, you got Eric Clapton out there who has now tested again, and he's tested for the thing. Now, a message posted on Clapton's website, and by the way, this is all in the backdrop of people going crazy, talking about Eric Clapton as if, you know, he deserves this or whatever. It's just... I mean, humanity has really taken a turn, and it's not a good turn. It's, I can't really explain it. It actually, to me, seems very demonic what's occurring. And I know if you start throwing out words like demonic or, you know, whatever, evil, darkness, people think of Ozzy Osbourne, right? No. They're just like, okay, here's the crazy man. No, I don't know what else this could be other than people being dark and mean and ridiculous, and their brains aren't, they're not functioning in the right way. So the statement from Eric's website, whilst Eric is feeling fine himself, again, he tested positive for the thing this morning. Whilst there is a strong body of medical opinion that after several days since the first test, a person is no longer, I don't know, I'm going to get into the weeds here on this, and I don't want to get too far in, but they're basically saying Eric is doing fine, and he took the test. And of course, nobody has any issue with these tests, right? These tests are fantastic. They've been so accurate. They've just done a world of good for the communities. People were just, you know, we used to have lines at a stadium, a baseball stadium near where I live, and people would line up for these tests every single day, either out of fear or panic or because their job may have required it. Keep in mind, this is just for the media, okay, and for all the people that continue to bash on Eric Clapton. Eric did what you wanted him to do twice. And I've said this in so many different ways that I'm running out of unique ways to say it. So if you did it twice and then you have a problem after you do it the second time. And what people are now doing, or they've done, is said, well, it probably was all in his head. He's fine. He's out there playing guitar, but why would you take a chance and do it another time if after the second time you had a problem which made it so you couldn't play for quite some time, and that you had this reaction? And again, I use the restaurant analogy. I'm not going to do it in this video because I'm tired of doing the restaurant analogy. All right. You can apply it to any other business or any other activity where, you know, if you have a bad experience upon using a product, right? Say your airbag doesn't deploy in your car, right? And you're badly injured because of that. Would you purchase that model of car again? I mean, it could have been just an isolated event, right? But why would you take a chance with that particular car maker again? I mean, you'd err on the side of caution, right? So Why wouldn't you do it? And I know the other argument coming from the other side, I can hear it, is, well, why wouldn't you err on the side of caution and just do what you're told to do? So yeah, it works both ways. But again, if you have your own individual experience, right, something that happened to you, and the other argument for them is, well, it's all in his mind now. And now he's just trying to bankroll. This was another great one. I just love this one. He's trying to bankroll all the people that disagree with the science, right? He's trying to bankroll all those people. And that's kind of funny, because right now it seems as though, at least in the rock community or the music world, having Eric's views is not conducive to getting along with promoters and everybody else who's out there who has to write out these riders and these contracts and everything that says, if this happens, then this will take place. And if we have to cancel because of this, and one band member comes down with that, then we have to reschedule, right? And I've been hearing, by the way, there's this rumor out there, I think it was the singer from the band Ghost, who said that some bands are now using this circumstance, right, where they tell everybody that they have this problem, right, and they can't tour because they're not getting enough money. They didn't like their contracts, so they say, yeah, we're going to pull the plug on this for a while, but we'll be back. And then there's a hunger for the music, and people are like, okay, under the circumstances, you know, we'll give you this much more in order to perform, right? And that I think is logical, because this entire thing was used as a pretense to do other things, to give money to people who didn't have problems. I mean, again, what was it? The CARES Act or whatever it was? That was just big money giveaway, and much of it didn't go to where it needed to go. And this is how the government operates. They need a reason. They need a pretext, right, to say, okay, it's so bad out there that we're going to pass this law, right? We're going to have everybody vote on it. It's a giant slush fund is what it is. And then it can go to all of your cronies and the poor people who lost their business or who can't go out and do live performances if you're a musician, because all the venues have all these restrictions, and you know, you don't want to follow those restrictions because, you know, you like to breathe, and you like, I don't know, you don't like people finding out your personal medical information. You don't like that, right? You don't want to have to carry around a device that has a QR code, which allows you access to certain things. And there are states, and I think there are countries out there that are working on banning this practice, right? It shouldn't have gotten this far, but you know, we've got people out there that believe that they can do anything, that there is no law to follow, which I'm seeing this more and more across the board when it comes to other issues. So anyway, it says here, Eric does not want to travel while still testing for this particular problem. And he doesn't want to risk giving this to other people. So by the media standards, this is what he's supposed to do. I don't know why. The only problem for Eric Clapton is because he didn't get the third or the fourth or the fifth or whatever number we're up to. You know, I've seen recent footage, recent so-called news coverage, where they're saying this is going to have to be a twice per year thing that you're going to have to do. Twice per year. Okay. And we can debate if that is a good thing or a bad thing. But for many of us, it's a non-starter. It's nope, sorry, not going to do it. There are other ways to deal with this problem. There are other ways to, I just dealt with it. for about 5 days. Okay. And was it pleasant? A couple of days it wasn't pleasant, but no time during that did I feel I was in, grave danger. All right. I've done my own research and homework, and I know a lot of people think that that is an evil thing to do. And by the way, I think Eric Clapton has done his own research. He is a pretty sharp guy. He is somebody who is fascinated by history and fascinated by a lot of other things that most people today find either tedious or, I don't know, they're just intellectually lazy when it comes to certain things. And I don't think Eric Clapton is. Another interesting development here as part of the Eric Clapton saga is there's an all-star tribute album coming out devoted to Eric Clapton with a very interesting lineup of people, including Molly Hatchet, Sammy Kershaw, James Williamson, the guitar player, Arthur Brown, Graham Bonnet, who can still sing like crazy, Rick Nielsen, Albert Lee, Jack Russell, Eric Gales, and many other artists. So that's been circulating around that you can pre-order that, and will feature tunes from some of his old bands, including the Yardbirds, Cream, Blind Faith, and Derek and the Dominoes. So not everybody is running away from Eric. Some people understand that he is the greatest living guitarist on planet Earth, and Rolling Stone can verify that. He's at number 2. Jimi Hendrix is at number 1. Jimi Hendrix is still dead, so Eric Clapton is still at number 1. At least for living guitar players. I'm not arguing, by the way, that Eric is better than Jimi, because then people will say, what are you saying? I'm not saying anything. I'm saying Jimi, I would agree too. Jimi Hendrix, greatest guitar player of all time. Problem for Jimi Hendrix these days is more and more radio stations are omitting. They're not playing Jimi Hendrix anymore. And that could be because it's too long ago, or they don't find his music as accessible as other people from that era. But come on, Jimi Hendrix should be on rock stations. He always was. And if you can't even play like Purple Haze or Foxy Lady, you're just losing me. It's not a classic rock station if you're not playing Hendrix. Let's just be clear, right? Same thing for those stations that have omitted Eric Clapton more and more because they don't like his stance on this particular issue. I don't know. Rock used to be rebellious, and I've said this over and over again. Now rock is conforming with all of its, problems that it has now, competing with, rap and hip hop and all these other formats, right? Rock is now the complacent, get along, go along, and there's very little in the way of that old school rebellion. So much for we're not going to take it, right? No, it's going to be we are taking it right up the what, and nobody protests. And you've got these mild-mannered guys, Clapton, Van Morrison, they're out there and they're protesting, and they're getting skewered for it. Why? Why are they getting skewered? Because they're supposed to go along because this has been so amazing at fighting this problem, right? Which it hasn't. And most smart people can see we're in this 2.5 years almost now. 2.5 years. And then we got the pox. Don't forget, we got pox out there now. Monkeypox and whatever else. And it's just one thing after another. Fear, fear. And I don't know. People are just going to be like, okay, I don't even want to deal with these people anymore. Meaning those that are telling me. And then one day you're going to get a knock on the door and you're going to be like, okay, who are you? I just fear these things. And maybe my fears are not justified. but I'm seeing things out there that make my head spin. And there are some days where I just want to, if I could go to that secluded island somewhere, that self-sustaining secluded island, and by the way, bring some of my favorite music with me and my family, and somehow could still make the videos and hang out, maybe get knocked in the head by a coconut, or, sit next to the palm tree and the breeze is out there. This whole thing is becoming just ordinary madness, as our buddy Walter Trout says. This is just ordinary madness every single day. Anyway, people, I think Eric is okay. Just let y'all know. I know it says so here. Eric is doing fine. I know the media isn't really that concerned about how Eric is feeling, which is, again, just part of this new normal that we're living through. Isn't it great? Yeah. Respect your fellow man, even if they have a differing opinion than you, even if they've had a different experience than you. That's the weird thing, is that's his experience, and you're trying somehow to discredit his own experience. And once you start doing that, then you're trying to recreate a world that doesn't exist. So that's just my take on this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the new subscribers. Got new subs coming on board. Don't forget, hit the bell for notifications if you want to get notified when I drop a video. Also, subscribing is great. Patronage is great on Patreon. I love all of that. It helps grow this channel. We had a pretty good week after we had some down weeks. I know it's tough out there, people. Baby formula, you can't find it. Gas is at an all-time high and continues to go up. And yeah, so we've got big things to worry about. We shouldn't be all that concerned about if Eric Clapton, cancels a couple of concerts, right? That isn't the end of the world. He's got some concerts coming. He's going to be hanging out with the legendary player Jimi Vaughan, brother of the late, great Stevie Ray Vaughan, a great guitarist in his own right. And from what I understand, a true rock and roll rebel in the real sense of the meaning. All right. See you soon.